We thought it was just an ant, a tiny creature, easy to ignore, easy to step on. But what if I told you? It's not just an insect. It's a message from the unseen. A sign, a whisper, a divine reminder, meant only for the chosen ones. In 2024, a woman in Lagos, Nigeria shared her story. Every morning, just before Fajr, she noticed something strange. Ants, silent, orderly, forming a perfect spiral around her prayer mat. Not one, not once. Every single morning, she said, "I knew they were telling me to center myself again. I hadn't prayed on time in weeks, until the ants came." Ants may appear small, but they carry wisdom older than mankind. In the Qur'an, they speak, they warn, they protect. And today, we will dive deep into what their presence really means, especially if you're one of the chosen. If you've been seeing ants repeatedly in your home, especially in sacred or private spaces, you're being called to listen. Comment below, where have you seen ants lately, and how did it make you feel? Don't hold back. Your sign might help someone else awaken. Spiritual symbolism of ants. Ants aren't just insects, they are ancient messengers, symbols encoded with divine meaning across cultures and faiths. In Islam, the ant speaks. In Surah An-Naml, the ant sees the approaching army of Prophet Sulaiman alayhis salam and warns its colony. "O ants, enter your dwellings that you not be crushed by Solomon and his soldiers while they perceive not." An ant spoke with intelligence and foresight. It shows that even the smallest beings hold divine purpose. In Sufism, the ant is a mirror of the seeker, patient, consistent, part of a greater whole. It symbolizes divine orchestration, collective humility, and spiritual alignment. Their presence may be a reflection of disconnection or the beginning of new awareness. In African spirituality, ants are considered ancestral guides, visiting when wisdom or order is needed. In Chinese tradition, ants represent hard work, harmony, and prosperity. Across continents and cultures, they come with meaning. Ants appear to remind you, God sees all, even what crawls on the earth. Have you ever ignored a small sign and regretted it later? Share your story in the comments. Let someone learn from your moment. Quranic Deep Dive. In Surah An-Naml, Allah tells us a story that most people overlook. As Prophet Sulaiman alayhis salam and his army approached, an ant cried out, "O ants, enter your dwellings so you're not crushed unknowingly." He could speak to ants, not metaphorically, literally. What does that say about the divine language we ignore every day? The ant wasn't just reacting, it was observing. It saw, it understood, and it warned others. A guardian, a communicator, a preserver of its community. That's more than instinct. That's divine programming. In 2023, a young man in Indonesia dreamt of ants crawling over his Qur'an. He brushed it off, until weeks later, he found out a close friend was secretly working against him. A sign, a warning, or just coincidence? What do you believe? Pay attention to divine whispers in the tiny moments. That's where your protection lies. Have you ever had an insect in your dream or prayer space and later realized it meant something? Comment yes if you believe signs are real. Real modern stories. These aren't ancient stories. They're happening right now to people just like you. In 2024, during heavy rains, a teacher in Kenya noticed something strange. Ants gathered in clusters, only near her Qur'an shelf. Hours later, an electrical fault caused a fire to spark. Everything nearby was scorched except the shelf with the Qur'an, untouched. In In 2025, a mystic in India described ants forming a perfect circle around his sujud spot. Curious and unsettled, he made istikhara. Days later, a hidden betrayal in his family came to light. He said, "The ants were circling the very place where my head touches the earth." I knew then it was a sign. Sometimes the smallest visitors carry the loudest warnings. Don't swat away the spiritual signs. Interpret them. They may be protecting you. Have ants appeared right before or after something big in your life? Let us know what happened. Your story might awaken someone else. Deeper symbolism for the chosen. So who are the chosen ones? They're not perfect. They're the ones being awakened, tested, or spiritually recruited. They notice what the average mind ignores. The ants in your home may not be a nuisance. They could be a divine test, a whisper from the unseen. Are you paying attention? When the ant warned its colony, Prophet Sulaiman didn't dismiss it. He smiled in humility. That's the sign of a chosen soul, one who honors even the smallest message from God. God teaches us through the tiniest of His creations, and those who are aware are chosen to carry His light. Ants are not invading your space. They are inviting you to awareness. Do you feel like you're being spiritually awakened lately? Say awakened in the comments if this speaks to you. Lessons from ant behavior. Ants don't seek attention. They move with unity, no spotlight, no ego, just purpose. They never walk without reason. Every step is intentional, every path, part of a greater design. And when danger comes, they don't run. They sacrifice. Ants die for the safety of the community. Allah reminds us in countless ways. Like ants, the righteous walk with purpose. Unseen by many, but seen by the Most High. The ant's behavior is a mirror, a divine wake-up call for our arrogance, our pride, our disunity. What if God sent ants to humble you because He wants to exalt you? Tell us one thing you've learned from watching ants. The best comment will be featured in our next video. Spiritual warnings versus blessings. Not every sign is the same for every soul. Sometimes an ant is a warning. Other times it's a blessing. If ants gather near your Qur'an, prayer space, or food in strange ways, it could mean misalignment, spiritual clutter, a call to clean not just your home, but your heart. But if ants appear in symmetry, moving with light, not chaos, it may be a sign of divine alignment, order, flow, protection. The Prophet taught us not to harm even an ant unless truly necessary. Why? Because every living creature is seen by Allah. The same ant could be a warning to one and a blessing to another. What does it mean for you? The same ant could be a warning to one and a blessing to another. What does it mean for you? Drop A in the comments if you're going to start seeing ants differently from now on. You are not imagining things. You are not crazy. You're being shown. Ants have been chosen to awaken. The chosen. Reflect, realign, reclaim your awareness. The signs will multiply until you finally listen. Let this be your Surah An-Naml moment, your Solomonic test. Will you respond with ego or with humility? From now on, when you see an ant, don't kill it. Say, I see you in all things. This is a divine wake-up. Will you answer the call? Tag someone who's spiritually awakening, or tell us how ants have spoken to you.